Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. I really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leif Eggerson. I was the chief of police for the majority of the time that Chris was here, and director of emergency services. I'm not really sure where to begin. Chris, I remember when I first came in and took over as major for state troopers. Those of you who know Chris probably aren't surprised to hear that he was one of my problem children. He's a great guy, and he always had an opinion, and he was never afraid to share his opinion with people. And I admire that in a person. And
Tell us people to move forward, please.
What's that?
You're good, bro.
Okay. And yes, I mean, he was always there to help new people. And he was always somebody that would crack a joke when tensions were high, and he took his job very seriously here. Chris was he's a veteran, and the things that you pick up from serving in the military really shone through him. He was always above reproach, and anytime that I ever had to have a conversation with him about something, he always fessed up to it immediately, and he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do better." And I wish more people were like that. Chris really he had a positive impact on this department and the whole community. Well, I don't want to monopolize all the time, so it's my understanding that some other people would like to speak.
I think
So,
I can, bro.
my time spent with Chris, I think the first time I actually ever met Chris was when he was in the office, actually having, a bit of a telling off for one of his actions. But just to elaborate on what Leaf kind of said, he always did what he thought was right, and if he had an opinion, he would definitely voice it. He was 100% always around to help anybody that he could. Sometimes people took that in the wrong way, but he was just there to, do what was best for not just the city, but for the community. And I think this just goes to show that, like, the turnout today, that we're a bit more than a community. It's more of a family than a community, in my opinion. He was definitely, he was an acquired taste. Not a lot of people would, like what he had to say, but the thing is, when he said things, 9 times out of 10, he was right in what he was saying. So from myself, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here today and showing your support to Chris, to his wife, and to his family. Yep, just thank you. I appreciate it.
Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush. of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
Most of y'all know me, Lieutenant Thomas. I've been around the city a while, right? This has impacted a lot of people in multiple ways. I'm kind of breaking down right now. I apologize. When you do this stuff, like for people you don't know, appreciated, it's different. Not only was he a cop, but he was a soldier, and it's not fair. He always had a plan, right? Anytime I came in city, late hours, you know, he'd be riding around doing his thing, keeping everybody on track. When nobody was doing anything, he would give them something to do. Chris was a fantastic guy, and I feel sorry for his family. I really do. That's all I have.
It's not so much of of things to say, more of the way Chris came into my life type of thing. When I first met Chris, we were in a 1080, and he thought his best course of action would be to pit maneuver me, and that's the type of guy he was. He always wanted to be in there, and you know, he's very headstrong, and I always laughed at that, right? Like the only interaction, or not the only interaction, but like the first moment I met him, he sent me into a wall, and I always laughed at that, and I hope that memory can help make you guys laugh too in this time.
Yep.
All right. This is a hard time for me, you know. I know some of you guys, some of the new guys I haven't really met yet. You know, Chris is like my pops outside of the head, you know. I called him my white chocolate dad, you know, 'cause I don't have a father, you know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, that motherfucker was such an asshole, but boy, did he make you laugh. You know, he had his good days and his bad days, but you know, one thing that you can't always forget is an asshole. And, you know, I met him in this city here, excuse me, before it became the city it is now. And like I said, that, you know, that's my father. So I'm sure for some of you that was your friends, you know, your brothers or whatnot. But for me, it hits a little bit hard. You know, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. I apologize. This shit is not easy. But thank you again for everybody. It definitely means a lot from him. That over there was his favorite car. And if anybody wants to take pictures or whatnot, please be my guest. It's there. You know, he suffered from PTSD, and alcohol was his scapegoat. So if anybody wants to talk, I'm always here. You can find me at either Tony Genovese or Too Tall. I'm always here, please.
Hey guys, most of you guys know me as Mr. Steele, but Mr. Williams, you know, I've known Mr. Williams a long time. He's a great guy. Me and Mr. Williams first met in another city. I was actually a rookie cop, and he was my superior. He taught me what I know today. He helped me get to where I am now. Me and him didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you know, we still came back to being great buds. In head and out of head. Out of head, he stopped me from doing some very foolish things that if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd be 6 feet under somewhere. The nights he spent on Discord calls with me, talking to me, the nights he helped me actually find some things I needed mental health wise, get me the help I needed. Chris was such a great guy, ranging from his personality all the way down to, as some people have said, him being an asshole, and that's not an insult. Sometimes he had to be that way to get his point across, and when he did, then the kind of light bulb would turn on. I've ran with Chris as a cop, and I've ran with him on another head, and all around, Chris is such a great guy, and it's just it's hit me really hard to have him taken away, because anytime you wanted to talk, anytime you needed something, no matter what time of day, if Chris had the time, he would call you. He'd open up the door and say, "Hey, let me help you," and for someone like that to be taken just has impacted a lot of us so much. I know me personally, it's brought me to tears, and that's pretty hard. I know some other people who know him very well, they're pretty impacted. So everybody who showed up, everybody, the color guard, I just want to say thank you to you all, and it means so much to all of us. Even if the people aren't here that know him, and his wife, just thank you guys so much. It means a lot. Chris was such a great guy, and it sucks he was taken from us. Thank you.
So a lot of you know me as Steve Owens. A lot of people know me as Mason Dixon. As Steve Owens, I was a LSPD officer right next to Mason Dixon. Mr. Williams. He's always had that certain things to say with people. Like, it doesn't matter what he said. You can always laugh about it. Because he might be mad about something that happened earlier, or mad about something just happened a few seconds ago. But the only good thing about having him in our lives is that he always brought joy to our person. He always brought it. It didn't matter what. And he will forever be missed and forever live on.
All right. So first of all, my name is Gaz. If y'all know me, if you don't, I used to be here back in the first days of the city. It's now obviously known as Distant Horizon. Back then, it had a different name, and we used to run with a gang that was called Ghostface Killers, which obviously Williams was a part of for his time in PD and before any other time of that. I just want to thank it because honestly, this is just crazy. Like the outcome, everybody being here, everybody saying what they have to say about him. Obviously, to me, he's helped out just like he's helped anybody out. Like Tony said, he was kind of like the dad figure. I could say that probably most of us. And obviously, like with me, I come from a different city with him. I met him probably like a good year ago or so. We were met him in a cop life. He damn sure taught me how to be a cop. If I ever when I was a cop here, I learned from him. And about his temper, I know a lot of people mention it, but me personally, like I respected him for it, because a lot of people, man, they don't like to voice their opinion, but with him, he did not mind that at all. If he had something to say, he'd say it, and to some people it'd come off wrong, but it's just like people said, he had a hard time explaining himself, but at the end of the day, he always meant good. He was a good person, good friend, and he's gonna be missed, man. So I just appreciate everybody coming out here for sure.
Here we go. Almighty Father, whose command is over all and whose love never fails, make me aware of thy presence and obedient to thy will. Keep me true to my best self, guarding me against dishonesty in purpose, in deed, and helping me to live so that I can face my fellow Marines, my loved ones, and thee without shame or fear. Protect my family. Give me the will to do the work of a Marine and to accept my share of responsibilities with vigor and enthusiasm. Grant me the courage to be proficient in my daily performance. Keep me loyal and faithful to my superiors and to the duties my country and the Marine Corps have entrusted to me. Make me considerate of those who committed to my leadership. Help me to wear my uniform with dignity, and let it remind me daily of the traditions which I must uphold. If I am inclined to doubt, steady my faith. If I am tempted, make me strong to resist. If I should miss the mark, give me courage to try again. Guide me with the light of truth and grant me wisdom by which I may understand the answer to my prayer. Amen.
Hurrah.
Amen.
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 Color guard, attention. Color guard, present arms. Color guard, ready, aim. Fire. Color guard, ready, aim. Fire. Color guard, ready, aim. Fire. Order, arms. Color guard. Attention. Present arm.
Rest in peace, Chris, brother. You're going to be missed, man. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It really means a lot to all of us.